If I were to hand you a can of tomatoes and a pocket knife, would you be able to get it open? Up until 3 days ago, I would have said, maybe? In our efforts to become more self-sustainable, I end up watching a lot of prepper videos. People who think economic and political collapse is imminent. Although our motives don't exactly align, they happen to be a resourceful group of people I learn a lot from. One day YouTube recommended a video to me about a survival can opener. I was amazed when I saw it in action, a tiny little piece of metal ripping through cans like a saw blade. I forgot to mention our current can opener has gears that are stripped and broken. Long story short, 2 hours after watching the video I found myself deep in a Wikipedia rabbit hole. After browsing through articles, instructions, packaging, patents, military publications, and even the original plans, here's what I've learned about this seemingly unremarkable device. Amazingly, the P-38 can opener was conceived, designed, and put into production in 30 days in the summer of 1942. It was originally intended to be disposable, a dozen or so being sent out with every case of C and K rations. But soldiers quickly found them far too valuable to discard. The design was so elegant and robust that it would continue to be employed until nearly 40 years later when the introduction of the MRE pouches replaced canned goods. In its entire history, never has it been known to break, rust, or need sharpening. Also fascinating is the mystery of how it got its name. Although there is no official record, there are 3 theories. The first is that it took exactly 38 cuts to open a C ration can. The second is that it gets its name from its 38mm length. The third theory suggests that it shares its designation with the P-38 Lightning fighter plane. It's also commonly referred to as the John Wayne, a mystery within a mystery, and they made millions of them. They can be found all over the internet for less than $1, many with free shipping. So why on earth would I want to make my own? Well, first, because seeing the original patents and drawings of anything usually piques my inner creator. Second, my local Army-Navy surplus store was closed for the holidays. And third, because sometimes making things by hand gives you a better appreciation for the things you have. So I set out to make my own P-38, but with the intentions of making it a little more practical for home use. I wanted to make mine out of an old saw blade, so I started by gluing the templates for the P-38 on the surface. I started cutting it out with a Dremel, but that was burning through blade, so I went to a jigsaw, and that was burning through blade, so I went back to the Dremel. It took about 20 minutes, but eventually I got through it. Cutting this slot for the blade to fit on the body was a lot of work, and ended up being for nothing because when I heated it up with the torch and hit it with a hammer, it immediately snapped. That was pretty much the worst case scenario. I ended up having to weld it, which was better in the end, but not what I was planning. The next day I wanted to make a wood handle to give it more leverage on the can, so I just freehand drew a shape and cut it out with the jigsaw. I cut a slot with the handsaw and then pressed it in with the vise, and then rounded over the corners with the Dremel and some sandpaper. I think it turned out pretty good. Then I added some tung oil, let it dry, and it was ready for use. Not a bad transformation for an old saw blade. Alright, to win all I have to do is beat our old broken can opener. I was not expecting that. I thought you were just gonna sit there and spin and not go anywhere. I was expecting her not to get it at all, but, well, I still had fun.
You don't even know where you put it.
I don't know where
it's right there.
Boop. Oh yeah, this is how you open a can with a pocket knife. Yeah, it works a lot better than the one I made.